and welcome to today's cooking workshop. I'm Chef Louise and I'll be making today's recipes that we'll all be learning today together. Now, I just wanted to acknowledge Breville, Philippines and True Value for hosting this amazing workshop and making it happen and come to fruition so we can have amazing recipes today. So to get started, I'm going to be cooking this really good recipe, which is a summer favorite. It's chicken inasal, but this time it's air-fried chicken wings. So we have a kind of buffalo chicken style, but with very fragrant and aromatic Filipino spices. And something to add as well is to comment, like, and share if you like what you see, and also to stay until the very end of this workshop because we'll be doing a raffle for people to win prizes such as a Breville equipment. So let's get started. To start off with today's recipe, we're going to need some chicken wings. Now I've separated the flat and the drumstick so that we can have kind of a very manageable portion. We'll be needing some achuete oil or just some red oil. You can also use chili oil. We'll be needing fish sauce and soy sauce. We'll be needing some calamansi juice, or you can also use lemon or lime. And some garlic powder. Now, another aspect of this recipe that's really exciting is that we're going to be using a lot of ginger and lemongrass extract. And the thing about inasal that has always kind of peeved me is that you have to chop up lemongrass and a lot of ginger as well, and it kind of ends up as being a bit of a pretty portion. So this time we're going to be using our Breville juicer to juice through our lemongrass and ginger. So let's get started with that. Okay, so starting off with our Breville juicer, we have this rubber nozzle attachment fitted into it so that we can put it into a glass and not into a pitcher, since we'll only be needing a precious amount that I've already pre-juiced. But I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. So we're going to switch on our juicer to high setting. We have here a glass, and we're going to throw in our ginger and our lemongrass at the same time to kind of juice and to allow the ginger to kind of puree along with the lemongrass. So let's do that. Wow, I love it, and it smells so fragrant. You have the aroma of the lemongrass and the ginger, and you have this concentrated extract right here. It's a very yellow-green hue. So we're going to use this for our chicken inasal recipe. Alright, so now we have our ginger lemongrass extract, and it is the purest, most aromatic, spicy juice you'll ever have, and it's really packed with a lot of nutrients. Now with this, we're going to combine it with our chicken. So we have our chicken right here, and it is the flats and drumettes of our chicken wings. And what we're going to do is we're going to combine this with about 3 to 4 tablespoons worth of our lemongrass and ginger. Now I like a very, very pure mixture, so I'm going to make 4 tablespoons. Now use this sparingly because it is so flavorful. And then we have here our achuete oil, which is a very bright red oil. So be careful because this stains. But about, let's say, 2 to 3 tablespoons. You can go up to 4 tablespoons as well. This is just for coloring and to also generously coat our chicken. Let's put a little bit more. There we go. Now to the chicken mixture, we'll also add the juice of about half a lemon or 8 to 10 pieces of calamansi. So you can kind of play it by ear and see how much you might need. I'm going to use all of this up. We're going to use some of this fish sauce. So about 2 tablespoons worth of fish sauce. And about 2 tablespoons worth of soy sauce as well. And as you can see here, it has this really colorful marinade happening. Now we add about a tablespoon worth of garlic powder. You can add more if you really like the garlicky flavor. And of course, before we forget, we're going to add a lot of pepper. So you can add about a tablespoon worth of pepper, more or less depending on how much pepper you enjoy in your chicken recipe. And we'll give this a good mix. So just make sure you can use your hands or your hands with gloves on them, or you can use a spoon, and just make sure that everything is well coated in marinade. So that way we have this really, really pungent and pure aromatic marinade that will kind of seep into the chicken meat as we go. So once you have this brightly colored marinade, okay, so once you have this brightly colored marinade, what we're going to do is we're going to set it aside and marinate for about 3 to 4 hours, or for best results, marinate it overnight. Now you can put this in a Ziploc bag just to make sure that all of the chicken is exposed to some of the marinade, or you can leave it in a bowl, cover it with cling wrap, and leave it in your refrigerator. Now, since we don't want to wait another hour or so, I already have some prepared from yesterday night. So here I have some pre-prepared marinated chicken wings that I've already placed in a Ziploc bag. Now you can see the colors here are bright red, and they've been marinated overnight. So the flavor of the lemongrass and the ginger has deeply kind of seeped into the meat all the way to the bones. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open these up and arrange them onto our tray, which comes with your Breville air fryer oven. So while we're going to arrange this onto our tray, we're going to preheat our air fryer. Now what we want to do is set it to air fryer at 200 degrees centigrade, and we're going to cook it for about 12 minutes. Now it depends on the size of your chicken. If you have a large chicken, it might need a little bit more time, so have a look at it. But I love this because since we can't go outside and kind of grill this up or make, a lot of mess or fuss in the garden, it's better to actually just air fry it. It has intense heat, which is something I love about the Breville air fryer. It has very concentrated airflow so that it will make this chicken really crisp and really delicious. Now we're just going to empty this out onto our tray. You can use the marinade and make it into a sauce, or you can save it for another batch of chicken wings. But this one is going to be kind of like a fried buffalo chicken, but Filipino style, which is what I love the most about it. Now I use 6 chickens, but you can use several kilos worth of chicken if that's your preference, and make this in a big bulk to get the most out of your marinade. So again, we'll just arrange it in one pile. Still have some more chicken waiting for me when I get every last piece out of this marinade. So we'll set aside the marinade and save it for later. Now, as an additional touch, when you've got your chicken, you can easily put a little bit more extra oil and drizzle it on top, just for that coloring, and also to kind of make sure that the chicken crisps up on the outside, considering that we put it in a wet marinade. Oh, delicious. So something I just really love about the air fryer oven is that it is, not only does it have convection, but it has super convection. So the wind kind of carries throughout the machine and has this really focused, concentrated heat, which makes it air frying Now that's what we need when we're going to make chicken wings, especially when it's marinated in juice, so that we have a really good crisp exterior that has great flavor and it cooks straight through in just so little time. So this is what we're going to use to cook our air-fried chicken inasal wings. And don't forget to stay tuned until the very end of this video, because we're going to be raffling out some prizes for some lucky winners and commenters. So don't forget to comment as well, and like and share the stream if you're really enjoying it, and to save it for later. Oh, now we've got our Breville oven preheated, and we're going to put this in. We're using the black tray and not the air fry basket because chicken tends to drip with a lot of juices, and those juices are so good you want to save those for later. You can use them to fry rice or make them into really good sauce. Now we're going to cook this for another 12 minutes. So I'll see you in 12 minutes.
You will be surprised by the crispy, golden, guilt-free and delicious air-fried results. All created inside the Smart Oven Air Fryer, powered by our Element IQ system with smart algorithms. Super convection maximises airflow with higher temperatures and complete air contact. It delivers next-level air frying and so much more. With 11 smart presets, it can air fry, bake, roast, toast, slow cook and more. Convenience, control and precision of many different cooking techniques in one oven.
Now I saw in the questions that people were asking if you can make this with pork or you can substitute some ingredients. Now of course you can. You can make this recipe as flexible as you want it to go. You can add more lemons, you can add more lemongrass, or try different types of ginger like galangal to make this a little bit more aromatic. Or you can even make, instead of chicken wings, you can use it with pork or different parts of the chicken. But because it's summer and we're looking at summer favorites, chicken wings are something I really adore, especially when it's air fried in an oven and cooked so easily and quickly that it causes so little mess, and you can make it in just a couple of minutes. Alright, so our chicken wings are cooked, and as you can see at the 30-second mark, our Breville oven switches on its light to kind of give you an idea that it's almost done. And I'm really excited because this is going to be super, super hot. It's so good. Oh, you can see it's already crisp on the outside, and it has a nice reddish hue. Now you can choose to flip this halfway through to make sure that everything is crisp. But I like a little bit of a tender spot to my chicken. Now, it's time to plate it up. Ah, this looks divine. You can see that despite marinating it in a liquid marinade, the skin is still crisp. You can see it's browned and it looks delicious. Ah, let's go pick quite a few. And we're going to plate this up. I'm using a bamboo plate, but you can use any plate you want. You can use a little basket to kind of present your chicken wings, kind of like buffalo wings. And I'm just going to pile it up in a neat little pile. Nothing too fancy, because the goal of this is to have a really nice rustic kind of summer meal. but it's really, really easy and simple and fun. And you can see how the oils kind of fried through, but without having to fry it in an actual pan with oil, or without having to grill it outdoors in a hot summer day. So it makes it so easy that your mom can make it, you can make it, your dad can easily do it, and you don't have to bother him about firing up a grill. What's nice about the air fryer oven is it also has a grill function. So if you want to kind of grill this on high heat, you can easily do that with no fuss, and you can do it on your own, and it's so easy. So it's just kind of gently arrange this in a manner that looks as pretty as we can make it. Okay, and we have here a couple lemon wedges, which we'll just artfully scatter around to kind of give this summer vibe that we're going to be looking for, and it tastes great with a squeeze of lemons. And we have here some spring onions, which go fantastically with this, and to give that kind of spot of green that we're looking for to make it even prettier. And with that, there we have it, absolutely effortless chicken inasal wings, air fried in our Breville oven. And you can easily find this Breville oven if you want to make this at home at any of your True Value stores nationwide. So let's have a good look at it. It looks so good. It's glazed and juicy, and it looks like, it looks just so crisp. The skin looks amazing. I don't want to touch it, it's a work of art. But we have to taste it. So I'm going to grab a little piece right here and oh wow, it's so juicy. The inside is tender and still overflowing with juices, and the exterior is crisp, so you have that nice kind of skin coating, and the flavors go straight through. But my favorite way is how it was cooked. It was cooked in 12 minutes in our air fryer oven. No oil splatters, no barbecue grill. It's just something that's made so easily, and you don't have to break a sweat on a hot summer day. So, one more bite. It's really good. Okay, next recipe, moving on. Okay, so we're on to our next recipe. And this recipe is exciting because this time we're going to be focusing on our Breville juicer. Now, this recipe is something that pairs really well with our inasal because it's a really refreshing summer drink, and it's called pumpkin milk tea. It's very exciting because we're going to be using fresh pumpkins, and we're going to be making tea from our tea bags. So that way it's a lot healthier and a lot fresher and more refreshing and more nutritious when you finally drink it. So we're going to start off with our kettle, and we're going to switch it on. So right now I've already filled it up with about 500 mils of water. And we have here tea, so you can use jasmine tea or chamomile or maybe some kind of green tea or whatever teas you have available. You can also use black tea if that's what you prefer. But we're going to place it into a container where we can steep it. Now you can do this in a mug. I'm using a milk frother. So this little jug right here can kind of withstand heat, and it came with my coffee machine, and we're going to be using it to be making tea today. And with that, we're going to be adding a lot of sugar, about maybe a heaping 2 tablespoons worth of sugar. And the reason why is because we're turning this, let's use up all the sugar. We're going to be turning this kind of tea and our sugar into a concentrated syrup. So this will all have a really, really strong green tea flavor, which is why we're using 3 tea bags for 2 glasses. Now we're letting this come up to a boil, and with our Breville kettle, it only takes about a minute to get this to a boil. And here I have summer squash. So pumpkins are absolutely delicious. They taste really good, but when you juice them, they become really, really milky, and that's something that's really after, because it's a great milk alternative if you're lactose intolerant or if you just want kind of a vegetarian milk option. So we'll wait for this to come to the boil. Okay, so our kettle is now boiling. What we're going to do is take it out and we're just going to fill it into our sugar and tea mixture. Now you don't need much water because you want this to steep into a very concentrated syrup. So we're going to just let it kind of steep together and let it turn into this dark, deep mixture. As you can see, it's already losing a lot of its translucency and it's becoming this murky water. So I'll quickly show you on the camera now. But you can see that despite losing green tea, it's quite dark, and that's what we're going for. So we want to use brown sugar for this recipe, and you also want to use as many tea bags as you can muster up. So maybe 3 or 4 bags will do. And we'll leave this to steep for about 5 minutes. So while our tea is steeping, we're going to start getting our pumpkins. These are summer pumpkins, and there's so many of them in season this time of year, and they smell amazingly creamy and refreshing. And when you juice them, they're just like milk. So we're going to make them into our pumpkin milk. Let's get started. Okay, so to get started, we're going to go to our Breville juicer, and we're going to just switch it on to high and juice our squash. So let's go. Okay, so our squash has been juiced into this yellow, creamy juice, and it's this lovely shade of like yellow pumpkin. It has a bit of the green from the skin, and that's okay because since we're juicing it, we're going to need the nutrients from the skin to go into the juice, and it takes very little effort to cut it up, and you don't have to peel your squash, which is my favorite part about it. Now, we're going to save this, and we're going to use it to make our tea. Okay, so our pumpkin has been juiced, our tea has been steeping. Now what I'm going to do with this tea to kind of rapidly cool it off, since you want it to be iced, if you're going to serve this hot, you don't have to do this step. But since we want to rapidly cool our green tea syrup, we're going to grab a couple blocks of ice and just cool it down quickly using the coldness from the ice. Now we have our glasses here. I have a fancy little summer glass, and we're going to fill it up with ice. Just balance off the amount of ice in each cup. There we go. And we're going to pour in our concentrated tea syrup. So you want to fill it to around 1/3 of the cup worth, just to make sure that you have enough space for ice and you have enough space for the pumpkin juice. And now it's time for our pumpkin juice or our milk alternatives. If you're vegetarian, this is a great milk alternative to use. And we're just gonna pour it in. Gorgeous, and it transforms everything into a lovely shade of yellow. And I absolutely love pumpkin milk. I think it's an underrated milk alternative, and it's so readily available, especially summer pumpkin this season here in the Philippines. And we'll just top them off with a straw, and there you have it. And you don't even need to go out for a trip to the tea shop. You can just enjoy a little cup of pumpkin milk tea using your Breville juicer. And again, if you want to get a Breville juicer and copy this recipe or make your own pumpkin milk at home, you can easily get them at any True Value branch nationwide. And don't forget to stay on until the end because we're going to have a digital raffle. So let's quickly give this a taste. Oh wow, that is so refreshing. And the pumpkin is already naturally sweet. So even if we had sugar in our syrup, the pumpkin naturally sweetens it. So you can easily reduce the sugar or replace it with stevia. That's delicious. So with that, these are my recipes for today. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, post your comments and let us know how much you liked it, and if you make it at home, and tag us at Breville Philippines and like them on Facebook as well. So with that, thanks so much, and that concludes my demo. Stay on for the digital raffle because we'll be giving out details right after this. Bye!